All right, guys. How you guys doing today? Once again, we're back live. I was gone last week. Some unforeseen things happened, and I couldn't make it. Sorry, I wasn't able to grace YouTube with my presence on that day. But I'm back tonight. All right, guys. So I appreciate you coming on whenever you do come on. Um, and all you guys in the replay, hey, I appreciate you too. So tonight's topic, it says it's time to expand to a new space, which is literally what's going on in my life right now. This, this great scenery that you see behind me is going to have to be relocated to a new spot, and I'm currently out there looking for one. Keep your fingers crossed. It's not always easy to find a new space. Not to mention prices have doubled, right? So got to take that into account. And I'm even looking at some point purchasing a new space instead of renting a new space. Right now, I'm renting this, and but that's a whole nother bag as well because now you're dealing with, hey Chantel, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, so let me catch you up. I'm currently in the process of looking for a new space. I'll be moving out of this space here, and what I'm really trying to do is just to give you guys a little bit of what of some give you the scoop on what I'm trying to do is do more in the space that I will get. Like this space, this is a limited space right here. I can only do so much. Yeah, I got my studio and everything. I can, you guys see me here all the time, but I really want to do more. I want to give back to the community more. And so I'm looking for a bigger space. Not to say that I'll get that, right? But I'm that's my vision for the next 2 or 3 months, right? Is to find a space where I can do more for the community and provide more services and stuff like that in terms of teaching and reaching out, right? But this is business as well, so gonna have to charge for some of those services. So don't be surprised. It's not a nonprofit, even though I do have that as well. So anyway, guys, I thought that this topic could also correlate with expanding, your life, right? Not just me moving to a new space or looking for a new space, but expanding your life, right? What spaces do you see yourself in the next 2, 3, 4 months? And I give you those short cycles because I think if you give yourself too long of a runway, you tend to get distracted and you don't stay on course. So why not give yourself shorter cycles of action, shorter cycles, shorter spans of time to take action? Then you can be held accountable by your own time schedules better, right? Instead of maybe 2 years from now I'll be here, 2 years from now I'll be there. That leaves so much room for distractions, so much room for not accomplishing your goals and making excuses. When you have shorter life cycles of time to do something, right, to get your goals done, then you feel more, it's more urgent and you put more into it. So, when it comes to that, I mean, expanding your space could be anything. It could be moving, like I have to do, out of here into a new space. It can be expanding away from something that's not serving you anymore, right? Because a lot of us, we stay in spaces where we get comfortable, right? We get comfortable and we don't even know that we've stunted our growth, right? We can't grow anymore because we haven't put ourselves in new spaces where we see the possibility of growth, right? And sometimes those new spaces that we have to put ourselves in, they have to be able to stretch us, right? They have to be able to stretch us so we can grow into those spaces. You know what I mean? If not, those spaces, we won't be able to afford those new spaces, whether it's monetarily afford them, socially afford them, or whatever. Think about it on the social aspect. If you go into a new group of people that you feel that can benefit you in terms of knowledge, in terms of whatever it is, and you don't stretch yourself to be, educate yourself to have conversations with these people on their level, guess what? You're not gonna fit in well. You're gonna feel uncomfortable, and you're gonna go back to the spaces where where the conversations are more low level. They're not stretching you. They're you're not growing, and so it always requires some effort on your part. It requires some growth on your part, right? And say in business, for instance, you go into a new space and you have to be able to afford that space, right? Which means um, you have to kick that business in gear, right? If you want to do bigger things. So it's not just about expanding to a new space and say, hey, yeah, I jumped over there. No, you have to be able to handle that new space, so that new space will kick you out of there. That's just how life is. Okay. So let's backtrack a little bit, guys. If you agree with what I'm saying, just leave a thumbs up in the chat. By the way, guys, one way to help me relocate into this new space is to donate, not donate, but help the cause by going to calibrate.com. And because I don't take donations, guys, I like to give you something in return, right? In return for what you help me with, right? So if you go to calibrate.com, we got some great products over there. The holidays are coming up, and I'm sure you can find something there to give to a loved one, give to yourself. We got some household tools. I'm coming out with some digital products as well. So go check it out. That's a great way to support the channel. Okay. So let's see here. Where was I? Now, like I said, I got to relocate. I'd say by the end of the year, I got to be in a new spot. And I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? It's most likely going to be a bigger space, like I said. And, there's various ways I can go about this. But my end game is to acquire, property. That's the end game, is to acquire property where I have more control of the space. I can do, I can kind of do what I want, remodel or whatever I have to do. But that takes money, guys. I'm gonna be straight up. That takes money. And let's just say you want to get a loan or something like that. I know some of you guys don't believe in loans, and I hear you. I used to be that guy that didn't want any debt or anything like that. But that doesn't work for everybody, right? I don't have investors or anything like that giving me money. I don't have anything like that. It's all me right now. And so I got to think about ways to finance my future, right? Finance the vision that I have for Caliber 8. And I do have a vision for Caliber 8. Let that sink in, guys. You got to have a vision for what for your life. I don't care what it is. You got to have some kind of vision. Because believe it or not, you do have a vision. But there's a difference between having a vision, consciously knowing what the vision is, and contributing to it little by little, and then unconscious vision, right? Which is what most people have, which is not knowing where you're going. You got a job, you're just kind of living day by day. You're kind of confused. Okay, you're getting a paycheck, you're paying the rent and all that, but you don't really have a path that you've laid out for yourself, and that you're contributing to on a daily basis, right? Most people are just living, right? And in those situations, you're more at risk, in my opinion, of not succeeding, right? Because a lot of people, I'm going to succeed by accident. No, it doesn't happen like that. You have to have some kind of concrete vision. It's not going to happen. There's going to right away. It's going to be a lot of bumps in the road, but that's all part of the path. But at least you have that concrete vision, and it will happen at some point. And if you don't have that, you're kind of just, you're kind of like a leaf in the wind, at the mercy of all kinds of things. So, you have, like I said, you have to have that. And I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. That's what I get for rambling. Okay, yeah, back to what I was saying. Financing my vision, right? Financing it takes money in this world, guys, to make things happen. I don't care what you believe, whatever, manifestation and all that. It does take currency. Yes, things can happen, right, where you don't need money, but that's very, that's you really have to be aligned, or the stars have to align for you. For 99% of us, we got to go out there and work, right? We got to go out there and get it and make it happen, which requires dinero, requires money. So if you don't have that money, there are different options to finance your business, for instance, and those are getting loans or friends or family if you have that. But you can get but you have to have credit. Okay, your credit has to be at least in good shape for a lot of things. And if you don't have good credit, then you have you have these people called hard money lenders, right? They'll give you a loan, they'll give the money that you need, but there's a price with that. Okay, the interest rate's probably going to be sky high, and they're going to want their money, right? And it's going to be more than just if you had good credit or not. So um, before you think about making big moves like that, think about the small steps you have to make, like keeping your credit on point. Um, you know, at least a 650 credit score, right? Will get you in the ball game. Okay, I was talking with a friend of mine today, and this is some of the things we were talking about. So yeah, it's possible, guys. And there's even owner financing. Perhaps you can work something out if you're trying to get a property or something like that. You don't necessarily have to go through the banks. You can actually go directly to the owner of the property, the seller, and say, listen, let's work something out where I pay you a certain amount, or you get a percentage of revenues over time until it's paid off, and I get access. There's different creative ways you can get into a new space, a physical space, property, if that's what you're looking for. So, but you just got to be creative, and you got to have that vision, and you got to go after it. Okay, and you can't take no for an answer. You're gonna probably get 50 no's before you get one yes, maybe even more no's than that. But my point is, you have to be willing to expand. Okay, you have to be willing to expand. And in today's world, in 2024, if you don't have an online presence in business, then I think you're lagging behind. I was talking to a tradesman today, a general contractor, and he said he doesn't even think about social media, and or being online. He doesn't have to. If you built that clientele over time, that's great. Okay, if you built that. But I suggest, even if you have a solid clientele and you feel you don't have to get on social media, you don't have to get online or create some kind of online presence, I suggest you do it anyway. It can only help you, right? It can only solidify your credibility out there in the world in terms of what you do. Okay, because first thing someone's going to do when they talk to you and you tell them what you do, they're going to Google you. I mean, I know I do it sometimes. So why not have that covered? Okay, and that's one way to expand as well. You don't have to be on every platform. I'm not on every platform. I'm on a couple of platforms. This is my main platform. But that's one way to expand, is expanding your online presence. If you got products or services, and you have a vision to grow bigger, or expand your product line accordingly, is right. Come up with new ideas. You constantly, you have to be thinking about, okay, what else can I put out there in the world that can serve people, right? That will help me expand as well. Okay, so think about that. I'm always thinking about that. Okay, what can I do? Like I just told you guys a while ago, I've come up with some digital products, a home improvement planner that I will be putting out soon. Okay, very soon, and so look out for that. It's great as well. Okay, it allows you to go through every room of the house, right, and list what you want done. It has a budget calculator on it. You can even snapshot photos of before and after on it. Okay, so that's going to be a great a great little tool for you to complete your home improvement projects, keep them organized, and you love it. Okay, so look out for that. It's called the Calibrate Home Improvement Planner. All right, so another way to expand, okay, and this is more on the business side, is what other markets can you expand into? Yeah, right. Think about some untouched niches that may be close enough to yours that you can move into, that not a lot of people are in, or at least there's enough space for everybody to move in. It's not oversaturated. And I really don't believe in the oversaturated theory anyway. I believe there's room for everybody. Why? Because it's only one you, and you can bring it only your way. And if people like that, they catch on, great. And if they don't, just move on to another one, right? It doesn't mean it's oversaturated. Maybe they just weren't feeling you at the time. A lot of people say, YouTube is oversaturated. No, it's not. There's room for everybody on YouTube, right? Because there's only one you, right? That's like saying the world is oversaturated. Don't nobody else should be born into the world because it's oversaturated. That's absolutely ridiculous. All right, so don't ever think that. Just be more creative. Think of enhancing certain aspects of yourself that will stand out. And that's how I think about it. Okay, how am I standing out in my field, right? And what I do, especially online, right? Okay, another way to expand, your territory. When I say territory, I don't just mean physical territory, but your territory in business, all that, social territory, because all that matters, right? Relationships, right? How can you expand your relational territory, where you're meeting people and making deals, helping one another, because you try to make it a win-win situation with people out there in the world, and not just a take. You want to go in there with some value that you can add to somebody or some situation, right? Before you can receive. That's just the best way to do it, right? So if you can think of people that you would want to partner with, not people that you don't want to partner with, but people that you would want to partner with, so you can make things happen out there, and you guys both have a win-win situation going on. You both can benefit. Then that's a great way to expand as well, right? Because an example of that is, say in the social media world, you can partner with another quote unquote influencer who can talk about you to their audience, and you can talk about them to your audience, and you both win. You know what I mean? I haven't done a lot of that, but I plan on doing it in the future. Another way, guys, to expand in business is just to buy another business. You don't have to recreate the wheel. You can just buy another business, especially if it's a business that you know about already, right? That you're somewhat familiar with. You can, you like that business, you like that business model, and you want to be there. You don't have to start from scratch all the time. Matter of fact, a lot of these big businesses out here in the world, that's what they do. That's how they get so big. They scoop up all the other smaller businesses. They buy them out, whatever, right? And so that's one way to expand. At the end of the day, guys, you want to think expansion. Okay, and I say that with caution, because I don't want you guys to say, okay, I gotta grow, because you can't expand too fast if you don't do it right. You got to pace yourself, pace your finances. Are you ready to expand right now? Okay, so you got to look at all that first before you think about growth, right? But again, the other side to that is, if you stay stagnant, there's no middle ground in life. Either you're going up or you're going down. You may think that you're staying still and that you're comfortable, but you're actually going down. You know what I'm saying? There's something called the law of entropy. I think that's what it is. Where, matter of fact, you know me, guys, I like to do my research. I'm gonna look it up for you so I won't misquote it. What is the law of entropy? If you could type that in the comments before I finish looking it up, man. You're okay. Let's see. All right, I'll read this. You can make sense out of it as much as you want. It's based on the second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics states that unless outside energy is provided, a system will find its entropy, which means disorder, staying the same or increasing as time goes on. Okay. In other words, nothing is really staying still. It's either degrading, you know what I'm saying? It's either going down, or it's expanding, or it's going up. So if you use that as an analogy to your life, if you're sitting on the couch watching TV all day and you think, okay, my bills are paid, this and that, and you're comfortable, and there's really more for you to do out there in the world, you're not doing it, you're actually going down. And this is my belief. This may seem crazy to a lot of people. I believe that life will actually take you out of here if you're not contributing to the the whole of life, right? In a positive way. If you're not serving in some way, it's almost like you're mooching off of somebody. Like if you mooch off of life, just the mere fact that you have breath in your lungs, that's a gift, right? That's a gift, which not just a gift, but it's also to me represents a purpose, right? For you to be here, right? So if you're not using or executing that purpose, in a positive way, it doesn't mean you have to go build spaceships or anything like that. But you're doing something. I don't care if you're out there feeding the homeless or doing something positive versus just sitting around doing nothing. Then you kind of become a useless eater. And I'm not trying to degrade the self-worth of anybody, including myself. But I think that you don't feel right. And if you do feel okay living like that, then there's something wrong, right? Because I don't think life is designed for people not to actually contribute in some form or fashion, whatever that is, right? As long as they're contributing. So that's the basis of expansion and why you should think about expanding in a good way, right? Think about it first, how you want to do it, and then pace yourself. Are you able to expand? But as long as you're expanding first in your mind, you have that vision of where you want to expand to. That's the first step of expansion. Okay. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave you with that. Hope you got something out of this, and I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Pass it on to your friends. Go to calibrate.com, support the channel. Got some great stuff for you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.